All right. Good morning, evening, whatever the afternoon, whatever it is for you. And welcome to wrong one. Welcome to Anarchy Trading Live London session. So a lot going on, a lot going on. Yesterday we ended up coming back, filling that gap that we've been talking about, and just going crazy, essentially going crazy um, bearish, right? Um, so we ended up going super bearish and just plummeting. And so the money that we made, we did end up what? I think because I closed those too early and it was a bit of a rough day. I took some stupid trades, but we identified them, which was good. And so we identified those and managed to leave the day up 0.7%. So we're up currently now 5.3%, I think. We'll take a look um, on our 10K challenge that we're currently doing. So let me just make sure everything is running here for the live stream. Yesterday, actually had somebody join the live stream, and I found out later that I'm so used to not anyone joining usually to begin with because we're still pretty new that that they were making comments and I wasn't even answering them. So let me see here. Let me just let me find this here. Okay, so we're currently up. Excuse me. Whew. Currently up and running. Cool. Good. And let's start the day. So we've already got. Let me close all of these here for now, and we will. Let's just add another tab and another tab for our three indices, and then let's pull up the news. We can pull up our Edge Finder. And we can pull up, let's take a look at the count so I can show you essentially in live time uh, what we've been doing. Okay, so yesterday, as you can see here, three trades, total of $68. Not much, right? We're just doing a little 10K challenge right now. With the goal, of course, to scale that up. But we've had some nice profitable days here, kind of making up for this 112 loss last week. And as I said, we are currently up, yeah, 5.3%. So almost hit our profit target of 800. We're getting close, 2.7 away. And so we're just going to continue focusing on letting the trades come to us. And hey, the nice thing is with these the new rules for honestly most of the prop firms is you don't have time limits. So you're not having to take crazy trades. You're not having to over leverage. You can just trade the account the way you would normally trade it. I risk 0.5% per trade. And I think I've described the reason why that is before because mathematically, if you were to trade 1%, you can lose that 10% of your account if your win rate's 50-50. You're going to blow that account once a year, mathematically, if your win rate's 50%. But if your win rate's 50%, the chances of you losing 20 trades in a row is essentially mathematically impossible. So that's why we risk 0.5 per trade, because that means I could lose 20 trades in a row before blowing this account. So just something to bear in mind as we move forward and as you trade. A lot of times people say, oh, no more than 1%. Mathematically, and if you're trading your own money, it's one thing, but if you're doing a prop firm, never do more than 0.5%, honestly, because the math is against you. Unless maybe you have like a super crazy, I would say successfully, win ratio. But again, people who tell me they have a 90% win ratio, I don't believe it. Just not possible. So again, we're just looking at indices right now. If you have anything else you want to see or want to look on this, like let me know in the comments or drop us an email, uh, and or message us on social, and we can maybe we can go through maybe some of the other pairs if you want to see us do that. I'm not going to live trade, but if you have a pair that you want me to chart and you want to see how I would trade it, I only trade indices. But if you want something else, yeah, drop it in the comments, message us on on social, and we can take a look at that and kind of show you what I would be doing if I was trading it. Again, I'm not going to, but okay, yeah. So we're still -2, but you could see we're pivoting. Our score is pivoting and definitely starting to be significantly less as we still see, um, where the institution is still really shorting US 30. Retail is still long and almost long. And again, whenever retail goes to above 60%, usually you're thinking it's going to go the other way because retail is notoriously in the wrong direction of moves. So retail is still going long on it, and that means let's see. It could still continue. I thought we were going to end up going bullish yesterday, and we just tanked most of the day. So we'll see how that goes. But again, nothing too much interesting here. I don't know why seasonality isn't showing up on this. Uh, anyways, um, sure. Okay. Enough of that though. Let's go over to the news for today. As I said, we have got a bunch of news. 1 o'clock, we just had climate count change here for GBP, which of course is going to affect DAX. We've got Euro news dropping to 15 and to the German flash manufacturing PMI. That's definitely going to affect to the DAX. So, and then at 3 o'clock, so there's a bunch of news coming out for the DAX. So we may not trade DAX today unless we see some really juicy setups. We may just stick to US 30 and NAS because I don't trade news. Again, anyone who tells you they can trade the news, no. Maybe you can trade the news afterwards, and yes, you can make money on the news sometimes, but it's a gamble. It's 50-50, right? You never know what's going to happen. So we're just going to be aware of that. I'm actually going to keep this up so that we can see in live time kind of where things are going in terms of numbers as they come up during the day. So let's go look over at DAX. Now, we'll erase these lines in a minute, but I want you to pay attention. So yesterday we had that initial gap up, came all the way down, and then got sucked back up. We've opened up. We're going bullish right now. It'll be interesting if they can save it, because check this out. Over back in March, it came down to these levels, 14,800, 14, all the way down here. This day went down to 14, 4, yeah, 450 or whatever. But they saved it. It never closed below here. And it's all only until we get back to way into January that price was lower than this. So this is definitely a significant area where it'll be interesting to see if we're going to continue to push down, break, and we kind of already had a close. The close we had yesterday closed below the low of March, but it'll be interesting to see today whether we push back up a little bit just to get some more, gain some maybe some bids, and then we continue to push down, or whether they're going to save it again like they did in March, and we're going to start pushing back out of here. I think some of the news today will definitely have an effect on which direction price is going to go. Let's erase all of our drawings and let's make some new ones. So first of all, as always, we are going to go high of day, purple, low of day, purple. We can fine tune those if we need to once we get into the 1 hour and five minute. And now we need to figure out where price can go. So where can price go? Price can go definitely to the high of yesterday. I think that's a reasonable target. And if it keeps going up, probably somewhere like right here, because that would be the open of this day plus the close of that day plus this almost touched it here. It's kind of half of there. So I like that as a spot. And then we have the open of last Friday, which there was a gap there. And then finally the high of Friday, which is also the 9 EMA, interestingly. So that's a kind of an interesting area for me. And then if we go short, where could we go? Now, of course, we can put one here because that was the low of yesterday. I would like a middle point because I feel like that's kind of a big area. Middle points where I don't really have much to draw lines off of. I usually just do red. Um, so we'll do that. And then maybe we draw one more line right here. I'm just doing that because we have a bunch of essentially tops of wicks, tops of candles here, and then wicks, and essentially that's and it's kind of a decent area. We can move it more if we want to on the hourly later, but I think that's all we'll need for today. So let's drop down to the hourly and see what we have going on here. So yeah, yesterday, big, big move down. We caught part of that, which and we could have ridden it for farther, but again, it could have also just reversed at any time. So we don't do trades like that to just kind of hope that price will do something. We want to make sure that we're taking things that are high likelihood. So we take our money and then we get out and we do it another day. You're never going to make your trade. Trading is not based off of one gigantic trade that you missed. It's based off of consistency, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. So to me, this is going to be an interesting level if price gets up here, which it's trying to right now. Hourly resistance, a lot of wicks. A lot of wicks have tried to go up here twice. Well, a bunch more times. One, two, three, four, yeah, a bunch of times. Hasn't been able to. So if we can break this, can maybe retest and then start working our way back up to the 200. That would be interesting to me. And of course, if we can break below this, we could see ourselves going back down to the low of yesterday or continuing to break down even farther. So intriguing stuff here. Let's go down to the 5 now and see what we've got to work with. Hmm. So definitely in an uptrend. Just short term, obviously, but uptrend nonetheless. Not too much reaction to the news. Let's map out some levels of where we would want to take. So where would we want to get in if something goes, if it was going short? Like for me to get in long, like this is a pretty beefy area. Had here, 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 it poked through but came back down. Um, so maybe make it even a little harder. But it's already shown some projection, so probably let's aim there for now. We can adjust it, see how it looks as it goes. And if we want to go short, maybe somewhere like there. Maybe we need to put it down here. We could put it here, which would line up better with this and that and almost this and those. Okay. But if we want to be aggressive, we can consider here. It would be more of an aggressive move. But I think you're probably right. Probably there would be the safe one for now. But let's wait and see. Again, slightly will depend on momentum as we go. We are a little overbought on the RSI here, at least here, and now we have it going new high again. Remember, so we've got higher highs here, and we've got lower highs here. So this would be a bit of bearish divergence on the RSI. Again, I don't use RSI to take trades, but I use it to determine whether or not maybe to hold off on getting into a trade. So I definitely would not be getting in long right now, just because we've got divergence here. We're near this high of day and this kind of resistance. So we need to wait and see what's going on and what will happen here as we go. But that's marked out for now. Looks good to me. We're not going to do anything right now. When is that news again? Yeah, 2:15. So essentially, we definitely don't want to get in at 2 o'clock because that's a market open. We don't want to get in it before 2:15 because we have news or 2:30. AUDFS. So essentially, after 2:30 news, depending on what moves we get, we could consider getting in. So the 2:30 is kind of where I would be looking to possibly get in, looking for possible entries after 2:30. But you will not see me getting in DAX before then. unless maybe we see something really interesting in the next, 10 or 15 minutes. Like if this was to break way down, come back up and come down, but I just don't see that that will actually happen. And as I say that, it's dropping, we could potentially take it for a ride. But let's wait and see. Again, DAX today is going to be risky, and normally we don't want risk. We want to give ourselves the best possibility of passing this. So here you see all my pre-made lines that we've made over the last few days. I'm just going to add one more now because we're a little bit farther down. So another one, maybe right there. And finally one of those two right there. Now, the interesting thing is that once you get good at this, you'll start learning it's kind of, and it's not really good. It's not rocket science, but it's cool to see how the lines actually will, or the candlesticks will reflect what your lines are showing you because the price reflect does what it previously has done a lot of times. So check this out. Came down the line. We haven't changed these lines since I don't think we changed these yesterday. So I don't think we've changed these lines since sometime last week. So again, that came down. We have this line, and then this one just booped right through it, went back up. This closed right on that line. We may have adjusted some of these, but my point is, as you go, you'll see that price will really respect the lines that you've drawn before. And that's why I would say you don't always need to move them. You can, but you don't need to. So for today, I'm just going to move the purple to high and low of day. And again, this one kind of an interesting spot on the US 30 because we have all these wicks right here. Uh, they saved price when it came here. When it came down here, again, they saved it in May. And so really it hasn't been really below that since, again, March of last year. It's been saved multiple times at this level. If we look here, saved, 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 saved. Do we see that happen again? Or are we gonna see price just maybe come up half of this candle and then just continue to drive back down? Don't know yet. We will wait and see. But it'll be interesting to see throughout today what happens. So yesterday we did call this, we did call it, and we got out early because we didn't really like how it looked. Hindsight, maybe we should have stayed in, but it didn't really. I wasn't patient. It didn't really fit my rules, so I'm glad that we got out. Whether or not whether or not it went down and dropped like we were hoping it would. But now we've got some interesting things. So hourly, where's our hourly support? Pretty obviously right here. Hourly resistance. That's a bit more difficult because you could kind of say right here, being that we have the low of the low of Friday essentially, right? And then the open here. But price has not been able to go up more than half of this candle. So I would say in the near term, this is it. And then if it broke through, it would probably be somewhere up here or even further uh, up here, but that's a long ways. So for me, I'm going to just draw one line. This would be like a large if it really goes bullish today. Maybe we come all the way up here. Maybe we just bounce here. Could maybe put something here in the middle. But let's look at the 5. Yeah, so a lot of opportunity here to go both ways. I'm putting this red line here. Gonna get rid of that one. So that we have, this is kind of can be a target point, as well as this yellow line. So we drew this on the hourly, but it's right at the 200 now. Also picks up those wicks over there, that wick there, that wick there. So yeah, this one over here. So that's a nice line. So if we can break above that, maybe go bullish. If we break low, we've got definitely some room to go bearish. So we had it tried here, couldn't. Tried here, couldn't. Also, we over here, it's tried, hasn't. Then we had a bunch of wicks where it rejected multiple times before finally breaking through. So I like this area for some support. But it's a long ways down there. So where could we get something in the middle? Yes, we could, because check it out. Try to go here. So for me, That's another area. If it dropped below here, then maybe we take it down just this move, which if we measure that, we could measure it. How big a move is that right now? That's like 14 pips, so not much. Would we want to get in on that move? Maybe not, but if we came down, retested with some, and then rejected with some volume or some momentum, then we could consider getting back in anyways. And then trying to ride it down or just move our stop loss or, because we would then be targeting. If it goes short, we could be targeting for it to come all the way back down to here. So that would be where we kind of be aiming for. But we got to see what price does here. And for me, I want to see a break below this retest and then come back down somewhere right around there. So that was US 30. Let's go and look at the NAS. And for the NAS, let's go back and we will chart this all out so you can see the thought process behind it. Again, kind of an interesting point for NASDAQ as we've had this level saved, 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 saved. Like we've had it, but it was below this one was last time. So June. So it's been a while. So it'll be interesting to see. Do we push up or do we have enough? This is a bit, these are some strong moves. Do we have enough to push it down? Again, nothing really has closed below 15, 14, 530. Or 500, you could call it just the 500 psychological number, right? Just the 14, 500. We've had no closure below that since June. So a lot of potential here to just are they going to save it and we push bullish again, or are we going to peter off and come down to the 200 or something? But let's start drawing our lines. So high of day, purple. Low of day, purple. Where could price go? Like that area. Close, open, wick, wick, close, essentially open. All this over here as well. And then all these wicks essentially in the same place. And then finally one more down kind of low of yesterday. If it goes up, we're going to go high of yesterday's one. If it breaks through that, maybe somewhere right there, lining up with the 9, the tops of these wicks. You could put it close, but that's just too small of a target, so we could look at it, and for the daily. So we're just going to put it up here instead. You could aim at the high of a Friday as well if you wanted to line there. There's nothing wrong with that. And then if not all, if it goes through there, we've got all these wicks that correspond with these wicks. That corresponds with that wick as well. So that's all we need for today. So let's move down to the 1 hour. A lot going on here. Hourly support. Can't say there's much resistance till we get up to here, which then most certainly is, which is kind of where we are now, I guess. Uh, but a lot of room to go down. A lot of room. It's going to take some. I'm going to draw another line because honestly, we're going to need some serious momentum if we want to try to break up and get above that. We're way below the 200 right now. But let's see if we have enough. This was a big move, but kind of came right off this level. Went down, come back about 50% of that move. And now are we going to see it to continue to push down? Maybe. Let's wait and see. Let's see what we've got on the 5. So a lot of consolidation over here. We're kind of there. We're definitely in an uptrend. Although I would say that uptrend was kind of just broken. extend this almost all the way, right? It's pretty close. But we just broke that. So high of day, um, for me, we want to take it long. It needs to come up above there. And we're on the 1 minute, no wonder. Okay. Make sure you have your time frames right, people. Uh, okay, so if we're gonna go short, we're going short here. And if we go long, got this, these wicks, those wicks, all of that, we would need to break above that. And then this line is like it touches a lot, but it's just a bit big. And I think on the 5, like if it breaks above this line, then we can see it drive up to somewhere like maybe here or here. So I'm gonna get rid of this one, honestly. Looking at the hourly, yeah, I would say we put it up here. Like this could be a low one, but that's why we have that here. So if it comes above your retest, and then yeah, a bit difficult, honestly, because this consolidation here is a bit funky. But for me, that's where I'm gonna draw it. If you think otherwise, let me know. Okay, so let's get this set down. Next, NAS. Let's get our dual screens going here. So we've got our down, got our down. So again, we've got I trade. I take my trade. I trade on the 5 really, but I look at the 15. I don't recommend that if you're beginning. No, 15. This one I want on 5. I don't know where my lines are on this one. Maybe we need to refresh. US 30. Dual screens. US 30. Okay, there we go. Got our 15 there. A lot of room to fill if the guys start going bullish. 5 minute on there we go. Looking better. Yeah, if we can break up above this 200, I definitely have a lot of room to go. So that would be kind of cool. And we do have quite a bit of support underneath here. 15 looks good. But again, nothing yet, because it's definitely tried and it rejected hard off the 200 here. So currently, nothing to see here. Big rejection. I think was that on the news? No, 15. 115. Big rejection of the support. Can we see that now start to drive up towards the 200? Let's wait and see. And then finally NAS. Make sure all my time frames are right. What's going on here? NAS breaking this upward trend line. If we break down here, retest, we could continue to drive down here. And NAS, for me, NAS looks like it has quite a bit of room to drop back down today. Before maybe going back up. But again, all of these things we're kind of at a level where it's been saved before. So it wouldn't surprise me, even though I'm kind of bearish on things in general, it wouldn't surprise me to see stuff go bullish just because of, from a technical standpoint, we're at a place where it's been saved by people quite a bit. When I say saved by people, I don't know. The magical market makers, whatever that means to you. All right, 1:30. New 30-minute candle. Opening up bearish. Again, these new 30-minute candles, especially 30-minute, hourly, even 15 occasionally, can have be some significant momentum changers, right? Price is going one way, new 30-minute candle, new hourly candle goes the other way. Let's go look at this on MT5. What are our spreads? Spread on JAX 40, 0.6, 0.9. Nice. Even NAS and US 30, 1.5, 2, 1.3. Nice. So we're going to see what we do today here. So some people have asked me what I do use for trading. It's called Magic Keys. They make a physical version of it. I just use the digital version of it. Yes, you have to pay for it. Yes, there's a lot of free options out there you can get for MT5, but I like the controls that they have for Magic Keys. It's kind of an online. I think I can share it because I'm sharing my. Am I sharing my screen? I think so. I think you should be able to see it now. I'll need to double check, but essentially, um, you can see that essentially it allows you to input your how much you want to risk per trade, open trade, allows you to open trade, double up on trades. Yeah, it shows up. Put your stop loss to break even, change your targets, close, switch, set up custom like software-based stop losses if you don't want to do hardware-based one, or like it's set up on, so your broker essentially can't see it, but it'll close it. I don't believe that those are manipulated, honestly, most of the time. People like to say, oh, my broker. No, it doesn't. Maybe very rarely, honestly, doesn't. Usually it just means you suck as a trader. Um, Brokers don't need to do anything fancy to try to beat you because you'll beat yourself. But this is what I use. It's called Magic Keys. Can do a kind of use it on free version if you want. Just Google it on any of the MT5 platforms or MT4 or whatever. But that's what I use. Back to the price. So let's see. So I will say honestly, to me, I could see this going bullish here. Really could. Just trying. But we just don't have much volume right yet. Like this is really crappy price action if you open up and down. I mean, if you look at it on the MT5 here, like just back and forth, big can, a few big candles, but just no volume in general. So for me to enter in on a trade here, I need to see a break above this high here, a retest back down into the middle of this perhaps. Some momentum, something showing me that momentum maybe is slowed back down, and then we take it on. Now, in general, kind of like how it looks. It looks good to me. 15-minute looks good. 5-minute looks good. Um, one looks good. There we go. There's the pop. So we got our new higher high. We've got 20 seconds till this candle closes. We do have the 9 getting ready to potentially cross the 200, which is called the golden triangle. Doesn't mean squat. Never take a trade, but it just shows you. Oh, what's it show you? Well, the 9 shows you what's happened with price in the short term. It's going up, and price on the 200 shows what price is doing in the long term. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, we crossed. So we're not getting in right now because again, we've almost got burned a couple times by taking trades too quickly. I'm trying to teach myself to take trade to be patient. So what we're doing is we're going to wait for price to come to us and force us to get in. So if we can see price come back down to the 200, maybe it convinces us to get in. Price probably somewhere like right there. Because 9 is all the way up there. I would assume the 9 would catch it. If you put it down here, you could. I would see why you would, but the problem for me is that's a long ways below, meaning price is going to have to go a long ways for me to get any decent return. So I would like to see it a bit tighter, maybe right there, because we have this wick, we have the 9, which these wicks have been respecting. So like I like the looks of that. And then all we have to do is target right here, and we already have a 2, 2 to 1. If we're just trying to get out with 1R, we're aiming somewhere right like there, right? So let's wait and see. So some people might have gone in, but for me, that's just not enough of a retest. I want to see it come down past the 200 slightly and then reverse off of it. Right now, it's just dancing around there, and it may take off without us. If so, that's fine. It's just not. It just there's just no volume right now. Um, but anyways, while we're waiting, because let's see. DAX trying. We can get a close above that. Retest. Maybe we go long as well. Let's go look at NAS. Again, trying. I can match that. That's pretty nice right there. So again, we break through, test, retest, like so. We have some decent possible setups right now, but we're getting close to market open, so we may also be hanging out, sitting out, and waiting to see what price does after we get the market open. Because again, we've got this news coming in at 2:15. The French flash manufacturing PMI and then the German flash manufacturing PMI. Like we don't want to be part of that. So I again not looking to get into DAX just because the price is going to be erratic, right? It's going to be more erratic because we have news coming up. So maybe price is just consolidating until after it sees what happens with the news, etc. And yeah, it shoulda, woulda, coulda. We wish we could, but it just didn't give me. It did not pull back enough. And it was just sitting there for a while. We didn't really see much momentum, and we didn't see a big enough pullback. So let's continue to watch this one. And if you miss a move somewhere, you can always find out somewhere else. So we're not going to cry over spilt milk here. We could potentially do the same thing on NASDAQ if we get it. Or again, US 30 could pull back on us, which would be nice. Um, just wasn't quite enough pullback. Wanted to see it come back to the 200 because otherwise, what tends to happen is if it doesn't pull back enough, it's going to go kind of right up here and then come back and retest, and then you're in drawdown, right? So we wanted to see a bit of a deeper pullback, which is how I trade. But looks like it just gonna leave without us today, and would have been a beautiful trade. Would have made some nice money off of that. But follow your rules, people. Follow your rules, and can't tell you how many times I've seen price go up, go up, almost hit your private target, and then it comes back down because you have your break even here, but it's going to come down and retest the 200, which is what I want to see first. So we're kind of still waiting for that retest. If we don't get it, we don't get it. But I still like how this is moving. So potentially we could get a retest, a pull back down. Otherwise, it was a nice move. We waited for it. We predicted it. Just didn't give us quite the look we were hoping for. DAX tempting me to get in. Break high of day. Let's see what happens on this new 5-minute candle. I've got 20 minutes. So would not have hit our profit target yet, even if we had it. Yeah, maybe it would have just barely tapped it. But you know, we're typically aiming for a bit more. We don't want just 1R. We need more than that. So now let's see what happens with price. If we can see price drive down here, I would love to see price come down over a couple candles and then pivot. But we're also getting too close to market open. Yeah, that's a big candle. See, this is also why usually we've got to see the retest first because price tends to want to come down and retest this area, and it didn't quite retest deep enough for me to want to get in. So let's see what happens now. That was a big candle, a big rejection off of here. No real level to like, reject off of or anything. I mean, you got a wick here and maybe some wicks there and some here, but again, no. This was big. Let's see what happens now. But if we can pull down a little bit more and then we start seeing a pivot, may it may be enough to tempt me to get in on this because I like where it is. I like, yeah, I just like where it is. It's at a good level. Um, but we're definitely not going to buy this big red candle. That would be stupid as well. So we've got to see something that would convince us or tell us that we should change our minds. For me, I still need to see a bit of it, and this may be too quick, right? If it goes up like that, I'm not going to try to catch it now because again, I mean, it's coming down now. It pulls back a little bit and then keeps driving down. So I would need to see a complete. I would want to see it come down here, slow down a little bit, and then speed up, and that's when we would catch it. So again, some people you might want to dive in now. It could work for you. It might go that way. But for me, again, I need to see it come down a little bit, slow down, maybe hang out here a little bit, start generating momentum, and then we're in. So that's what I'm looking for. And we may not get it. Again, we could have considered called that the retest, and it kind of was like this line. Like we could draw that a little higher, maybe, up there or somewhere like here, and it just kissed it. Um, but for me, I wanna see deeper. I want to see it go down here, and we might not get that. The other thing, possibly though, is this stays here for another 2 minutes. Next candle drives down here, and then we start pivoting up. But we're getting close to market open as well. Yeah, and I said I wasn't gonna get in on DAX. Nice retest into this line, but again, it hasn't really done anything the last 3 minutes. So I don't see like we had momentum. Momentum stalled, and it's especially stalled closed below the high of day, and that has rejected off that. So I would need to see something. Yeah, price just again kind of stagnating. 15 minutes till our new candle. Till our market open. Yeah, there's a nice look on German 30, but DAX 30 or DAX 40 or DAX or German 30 or whatever you want to call it. Um, Again, only reason I'm not getting in now, we're 15 minutes to market open. Um, and news, but it was that's the look. Came down, retested, turned green, would have bought in at the break here, and then hope for it to go long. But we're not doing that because market open. Still waiting for a deeper retest on US 30. And again, too close enough to market open that probably not going to get in. We're just going to hang out and wait. All right, looks like I'm going to play a game of chess while I'm waiting. That's a good way to keep yourself occupied instead of just staring at the charts wanting to take trades or do stupid stuff. Find something to do. Once you finish your charting, you know you're only 15 minutes away from market opening. Let's just wait for a good trade to come to us. We don't want to rush it, and we don't want to force something that's gonna lose us money. Currently got my rating up on my 3 minute games on chess. Finally up, hit 566 or something. Which for me is a bit of a high point for the rapid games or blitz games or whatever they're called. I don't know what a 3 minute game's called. Big green candle. Did not see that. Lost. So we did get, and we still have, let's see, so we still have US 30, respecting this trend line, respecting 209 has just crossed now. Uh, Bad price action though, it's just not doing anything. So again, about 6 minutes till market open. DAX flying, but that's okay. Flies, we let it go. When do we consider going long again if it dries up somewhere else? Be up here. So we're kind of just trading zones here. A lot going on up there, but we could take it there and then perhaps take it up to the yellow line or something, right? If we get it close above here and down. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, right now things are just flying. Nas breaking. Too close to market open though, so again, be patient. If we don't take a single trade today, it was a win because we didn't lose money, right? Break even days are good days. And I can guarantee you, an hour and a half of market open, and there'll be some move that we can take. And sometimes just watching the market, it's good to identify that if it wasn't market open, where would you have gone in? As I said, we would have gone in right here, stop loss here. We would have been in profit. Again, easier to say, should have, easier to show in hindsight. But you can mark these out sometimes to say, okay, I would have taken that trade. Would have been aiming for here. You could have, now that went there, you could move your stop loss to maybe move your stop loss there, and then you go from there. So that's an option. But right now, 5 minutes. This is not a trade we actually take, so let's pretend this line has now become a green line. So we flip that color. Looking at it on the big picture here, yeah, we've got so much room. Um, from yesterday, we kind of have this line over here, which could be another target. That one, really too small. If we were, that was just a scalping thing, but this would be a range. So if we break up, retest, aim for going up there or something. It has come above this level and this level and this level, so I do like how it's looking and transpiring. We just have to see what happens market open. What would make me really happy on market open? See an initial push down, rejection, close, maybe somewhere up here. Or if it just drove down, immediately changed colors, and then left a wick, I would potentially actually be willing to get in on that, even if it was just a few minutes after market open. Only if it went down and then up. If it just goes up, definitely not getting in, right? Because that's, but if we see it down, rejection, and then pivot back up because of the way price is going, and because we have these EMAs here helping hold price for us, that's something I could potentially view as a setup for market open. If we can see DAX come up here, close, retest, and then break this too, I like we could also look for a push up there as well. I like the looks of that. But again, too much news with DAX, so yeah, NAS continuing to push. I really want NAS to come back down and retest this level now. Never did retest, so you see right here, we finally break it. Came down a little bit, but never got a retest. Dow pushing. I'm stuffed up, so apologize for the snorting in the background. Nice candle. As I said, we kind of wanted it slightly deeper pullback, but would have worked out for a nice trade. So use the time you're not trading to identify what price is doing, what looks good, what doesn't look good. As I said, I liked this, just wasn't quite enough pullback for me. Um, and that will kind of help you as you continue moving forward in your trading career to trade a bit better and continue to improve. So 1 minute left till market open. The one thing I like about today is I do feel like once price dropped through here yesterday, like there was really nowhere for us to trade just because we didn't have levels to the left of us. I feel like we have a lot of levels both above and below us here, so we actually have somewhere to trade. So we'll find somewhere to get in trade today. Possibly if it goes bullish, maybe it comes up here, starts reversing, and we can get back in somewhere around like here or something. Or we just push up high and then start dropping like a rock, coming back down to test this support. German 30 again. If it wasn't for the news, I would have been in on this candle. As I said, this was the nice retest. This is what I wanted to have, kind of on the trend line, a deeper retracement into the line that we had drawn, turn green, enter, nice push. So, what's the price going to do? Which one do we want to watch during open? Doesn't really matter. Let's see what happens. Again, I'm not taking trades on DAX right now because of the news. So here's that push down we were talking about. How much of a push down are we going to get is the question. So there's the deep push down that we said we were wanting to see. Now the question is, can we get a pivot? Still pushing down. NAS pushing down. Love to see it, but if it pushes down all the way down to here, then maybe consider we could get in there. DAX pushing down. News in 15 minutes though. We're not trading it. We're just watching honestly to just see what it does during some of the news. It's good for our education, but we're definitely not going to be taking that for trades. So only first 90 seconds here of this candle. Don't need to be in a rush to trade here. To trade it if it comes back up here, retest and goes long. If it really bounced off here nicely, we could potentially take a trade now in a minute or two. But again, this is only the second minute of the candle. Like we don't want to let's not jump to any conclusions because it could just as easily continue to drive down, and we don't want to go long if it's just going long on a big red candle is not a good idea. So let's continue to watch, see what happens. I like that. All right, I'm in. And we are already running profit. I got in right there. Stop loss under the wick. Let's see what happens. And the reason I did that is, as I told you prior, is we waited for it to come all the way down, tested, waited patiently. Once we saw momentum, we hopped in. So let's continue to watch now as we push. One minute left in this candle. Can we close above this red line? Yeah, Nice. One minute left. Big push. I'm going to break even with this new high of day. We could see it suck back down now. I want to see it close. And it knocked me out. Again, I was looking for a close above this line. Now that we've rejected back down, my idea is a little bit invalidated. So that was a break-even trade. We went up point 0.8 R or something. So it was a decent first trade. Kind of followed what we wanted to, but now let's wait and see what happens. Nas is still pushing. Dow coming down again. Price action not great. It was when we had that. Now we were trading with momentum. Now I will need to see a little bit more, confirmation here. Again, with the Dow, we're having trouble with this line here. We see wick, 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 wick. We did came up, but we wick back down, which is why I'm not rushing to get into a trade now. We could question whether I should have moved to break even. Maybe I shouldn't have. But for me, with the momentum that went up and then that quick reverse down, like I don't want to be part of that. I wanted to see it close up here, maybe pull back a bit and then continue to push. But that rejection along with these wicks makes me not like it. So again, I'm not in a rush here. I don't need to make a trade today. I want to trade today. Nas just flying. Maybe we should have gone in Nas. Didn't get much of a pullback though, did we? Dow kind of stuck behind the other two. Both others are flying. Dow stuck behind. I don't like the price action. And so I'm just going to sit and wait. Again, we're not trading DAX today, but we do see flying. Like, see this big red candle? That came up. Could have bought that. But again, you're going right into the high of day. Oh, we're not high of day, but this resistance here. So is that something you want to do? Maybe not. Um, maybe it's better just to be patient. And again, I'm not trading it just because we have news that's about to drop in 15 minutes. After 2:30, I'm willing to get it. So we can start looking at DAX at 2:30 and Dow reversing down, making us look like geniuses. Not always. Doesn't always do that, right? But came up again, now pushing down. So again, we're gonna want to see what happens here. Still only 7 minutes in the market open. Are we gonna push down and then pivot up? But we gotta see something. We gotta see some momentum heading up there because right now we're just not seeing it. Like see Nas come down a bit and then we try to pick something up. So yeah, so DAX rejecting. US 30 trying again. Still no trade yet. Let's be patient. Yeah, it's still flying high. DAX rejecting a bit. Dow trying, but just not doing much. Need to see a close above here. This is horrible price action. 30 seconds left on this candle, first 10 minutes. DAX still tapping at the door, but not able to break through this. So if we could see, news drops, maybe pulls down a bit and then breaks through and then pulls down. So maybe 3 o'clock, we can start 2:33. We can start looking to maybe this turns around. We could hop on a little bit of a bullish ride. But for now, well, we're just gonna sit and watch. I still want to say Dow's going to go long. I mean, both Nas and Dax are going long. So could we see it happen here? Yeah, but we just gapped down on the open. Are we going to get enough to push though here? Let's see. Right now, seeing the 15-minute indecision, doji, nothing happening. Dax rejecting that level hard. So the first 40 seconds of that candle, we've essentially gone down that whole previous 5-minute candle. We got news dropping in 5 minutes. So going to be seeing quite a bit of manipulation probably on DAX. But yeah, driving down hard. And then Doge, could we see now it's starting to push down and get a little bit of an M and we push down bearish? Who knows? Let's see what's happening. Nah, still flying high. So we've got all this is essentially doing their own thing. Okay, so we have Dow bouncing back and forth, just barcoding. We have DAX, which just rejected hard, and we have NASDAQ just flying high. Like, so this is a bit of an interesting thing. Sometimes I'll use indices as a bit of a man, I say a lot. Um, sometimes I use the indices as a sort of indicator, but for now, there's nothing that is showing what any of the other indices may do simply by the fact that all three of them are doing their totally own thing. So we're just going to watch and see. I'm going to see if I can quit from saying the word home, and we'll just continue to monitor because right now we don't have anything to trade. This candle here on the Dow is why we got out when we did, because that rejection, that was a lot of momentum going up. And so when we moved that to break even, we're hoping to see that continue, but it was a fake out. And now we're going to see it pushing down. But this could also be a fake out, and now we see it push back up. So again, not doing anything as of this moment, just sitting on our hands, watching, waiting. Let's see where we could get into this short. If it comes down below here, I think that's where I would be. Wicks, 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 wicks. Yeah, I think that's where I'd be willing to get in short. Even, oh, maybe even sooner. If it pulls back and then drives down, could we get a bit more? Because that's a lot of bearish. That's some bearish movement there. Ooh, hey. Trying to screenshot this bad boy here. But we have to be careful. We don't want to immediately just go bearish because this is also going to pivot right off this line and just push back up because this is like a 50% retracement of just this little move right here. How do we know it's 50%? Because look, eyeball it, half. Ta-da! I'm just telling you now. You don't need fibs to tell you that. Look at that. Exactly where I told you the 50% line. And if you want to know where the 618 level is, oh, guess what? Just go boop, somewhere right around there. It's not rocket science, folks. Not rocket science. Okay, so big rejection off NAS. Big rejection. Big rejection off DAX. Okay, so we don't want to be premature in getting in on a short. That is for sure. So let us be patient. I'm gonna erase this because I took a picture of it for our journal. That one, as I said, I like it. Gave me that look. Went with momentum. We went into profit quite nicely, and it's wanted to go bearish, so that's fine with me. Broke even, lost $1.36, so fine with me. Big gap down here. First 15-minute candle. Now, are we gonna bounce? I mean, we could potentially go short here, but would we be going short into all this? Nah. It just everything's looking so bearish. Let me just line up what a trade would look like here, hypothetically speaking. Again, not yet though, because you don't want to sell here as this green candle goes up and then just go. You gotta wait. Okay, so candle just dropped on. So earnings galore in Europe. What's happening in Europe? I don't know. Honestly, don't really care because I don't really trade news. Let's go. Let's go look at what we have for so 42.6, 46.1, one lower, one higher. Offset each other maybe a little bit. Let's see what happens. So we came down, drew that line, bounced. This middle road, like sure, like you go, oh, this was retracement. Now I can buy and go, but you have all of this rejection. You don't want to do that. At least I don't want to do that. To me, I'm looking for a short. Like if this now rolls over, I would love to be in on a short somewhere about there. That would be a beautiful trade. Let's see what we got on everything. All right, still breaking down. Feeling a little FOMO-y today for some reason. Heart rate's a little up. I guess I did have a soda with some caffeine. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not my trading at all. Maybe it's just my soda. But anyway, still driving up. Yeah, DAX driving up. NAS, sort of. Like if we were going to trade on the one, we could probably trade NAS on the one. Get an entry. And does that meet my rules? Should I get out of it? Probably. But now I'm like $8 in, so that was. Oh, you're watching me make mistakes real time. It was pullback, nice pullback, honestly, on the one rejection. Like, I used to trade like that, but that's not normally how I trade. So is that following my rules? No. Lesson learned. There goes Dow, which might indicate that Nas is going to fly anyway. So we're in this, whether we like it or not. But that's why we didn't get in short when we had it marked out there for sure. Because as I said, we don't want to buy that until we have some certainty. Um, I'm at break even again because I took this trade not I took it against my rules. So I just if it goes badly, I want to be out of it because that was my rule. If we can get this to break above, close, retest, that will be my rules and we'll take it. I don't know what's wrong with my trading today, but I'm living my own life and YOLOing hard. Um, and at least I'm admitting to it, right? I mean, that's something. Okay, so let's see what we get on Dow here. I really do want to go long. I want to go long here. This would be my look. Target down here. So yeah, a good live stream. You see some of me making a lot of mistakes today, uh, but we're trying to mitigate those mistakes. Once we identify a mistake that's happening, we're trying to mitigate them. Um, Price action is really bad. Honestly, it looked good on here, but what was I doing? I'm trying to trade on the one and just catch a little bit of a trend. It's any man's guess. That was stupid of me. But US 30 on the other hand, let's watch this. If we can turn this green, I would love to be part of it. But right now, we're just in the middle. But if we can wick green, maybe we can push out of here. Got slipped out a little bit there. But yeah, that's what happens when you take trades on the one. That's why I don't trade on the one. Take stupid little trade. What was I absolutely freaking thinking? I get this. Looks beautiful on DAX, but we've trade draw. We have more news dropping in 8 minutes. Not taking it. Let's continue watching though. See where we close. We're flirting with the 9. I did like this that big move, but now we need to see it actually close up there. Because otherwise we're just going to close down here and then we have to just go through it all over again. This line to me doesn't make any sense anymore. So I'm looking now for a close below there. If we close below here, we can start thinking about a short. Good job getting out of there, realizing it didn't meet my rules. At least that's something, right? be patient. That was FOMO. So this trade was FOMO at its absolute best. Trying to make a bunch of money with very little effort. I'm gonna have to journal about that because that was, yeah, yeah, absolutely insane. Let's see where this candle closes. Gonna be a new, nope, not 30-minute candle. 5 minutes. These three rejections on the 15 are great, but if we could push up, maybe we can close above here. Continue to go. 11 seconds. So we're opening up red. Took a picture of that shame. So good there. Now, let's see. We're gonna pick up some wicks. Drive up out of here. We're just gonna drive down. Right now, we're getting price action. Poor. Clearly not going to drive up there right now, so let's continue waiting. And now we're probably potentially going to be looking for a short here. 15, picking up a big wick. This turns red. That could be a very interesting short. Three-minutes till news drops on the DAX. Didn't really seem to affect it too much at 215. I'm a little bullish. Um, let's see what we get though with this next folder, which is the actual German PMI. Could definitely add some volatility. So, which honestly could affect because I mean London, it's London session right now. So even though Dow is not a European index, so to speak, only people trading it right now are Europeans, so to speak, during London Open. So let's see what's going on. And you've heard the joke: if you're Russian in the kitchen, and you're American in the living room, what are you in the bathroom? European. It's funny every time. Clearly too immature to be for this. So price for Dow is just consolidating so badly. It's the only thing I really feel like we have to trade because NAS, it's just like, I mean, okay, so if we draw a line here, but it would have to be up here, and then we have this one here, so like I don't, probably it would have to be up here. So if it broke up here, retested, we could consider trying to get in long again, but until it does that or comes down here, we're kind of, for me anyway, we're kind of stuck. 1 minute left for news there. Dow consolidating hard. So we've saved ourselves from getting in on some stupid trades here a few times, which is good. Being patient. We've also saved ourselves after we've gotten in some stupid trades a few times as well. That's good. So our goal is just to continue improving that so we're not entering in on those stupid FOMO trades where you go, what the heck was I thinking? So rejecting 3,300 again. So that's a strong psychological number. We've broken through it. Can we stay above it? Now, can we pick up enough momentum to go bullish? Let's find out. Like, I have no idea what it's doing. It's just consolidating, right? So all right, news is dropping. Which way is price going here? Opening bearish. Bearish. All right, so there are some reds, some greens. It's mixed. Could see it not affect price too much, honestly, whatsoever. New 15-minute candle as well. So 3 wicks up here, came down. Can we pivot up? Or are we just going to now test up here and then reject again and go low short? I think we're going to tend to go short. All right, I'm in on that. Going with momentum. We're in about here. Stop loss up there. Aiming for down here. Let me make sure that's accurate. Stop loss up here. Yep. So did we enter too early? Probably. Should we be waiting for a retest? Probably. We could pay for that quickly. But based off of our 15, reason why we're getting is because based on we've rejected this price. Price is now broken this low here. So now we're looking to take it down short. So that's why we got in. That's why we got in when we did. Big drop. Let's start looking at some targets. First target down here. Down here possibly, but let's see. It's a big candle. Big candle. It's a big 1 minute candle, which also means it can come back just as quick. Just FYI. So I'm moving to break even. Actually, let's not. Put price at the top of the candle. How's that? Put a previous swing high. So I'm going to put my stop loss right there to begin with. And let's see, is it gonna stop us here? Or can we keep pushing? I'd love to see this keep pushing. These equal lows here, concerning. Gonna need to break these at some point if we want to keep going lower. I'm purposely not break even because again, what would I expect price to do? Come back, retest the break, which is right here. So we're expecting price to come up here. And then we'll come back up in here, or will we get to pivot down, like which is what we're looking for. DAX breaking down as well. And a little push on NAS. We've got momentum on our side, so we definitely have some bearish momentum here. That's a big candle. So let's see what continues to happen. Okay, so now here's this candle. Do we see it come up, test half of this, which would be right about here, and then break down? Or is it going to push up? Maybe stop here. My stop loss is above that candle, so let's wait. Let's wait and see. Can we break this here though, and make a new lower low? That would be nice. Here, maybe push down to this level. Yeah, we've got some bearish momentum for sure right now, so let's continue to watch this. I bet, yeah, DAX is breaking down like crazy as well. Yeah, it's breaking down. Now we'll make equal lows and then pivot up. I would love to see at least a new lower low here first. Otherwise, just equal lows and maybe we just pivot up. But I want to see we've got a lot of bearish momentum. So let's see if we can push this down. Still have my stop loss up here. That would not surprise me if we had price come up here and retest, right? Like that's what we anticipate price doing. Price could also make a base right here and just go bullish as well. So we're gonna just continue monitoring it. I just like really, there we go, new lower low. I really like the bearish momentum that we have going here. So we're gonna continue to try to see if we can ride this down, at least down to down here. So we have made a new lower low, but will that pick up stops that were under here and pivot back up? Well, yes, it is. That's why price just went up. But with all the bearish momentum, I anticipate that, yeah, we'll pick up some stops, push price up a little bit, and then we'll continue to push back down. This is a big, I bought in on the 15-minute, the 15-minute volume coming down, like a lot of bearish momentum on the 15-minute, which is why we bought in here on this candle. And again, it's a bit of a feel thing, right? Should I have waited for a bit of a retest? Probably. I've just traded this a lot. And when you have this much momentum and this 15-minute combined, it just looked good for a short. And we were right. We might be wrong. But it was a good entry. It was a good entry point with momentum. So I'm not gonna freak out about it too badly. And to me, that was a decent trade. Good trade? No. A plus? No. Was it a B trade? Yeah, B trade. B plus trade. At least we traded with momentum. We waited. It was making distance, and then we got it. So, I don't have to justify. I don't have to justify myself to you. Can we at least get a close below here? I think we could see this really have a big bullish or a bearish run today. So this is why I'm holding on to it. Like I might try to hold on a little longer and maybe take some off, but then keep going because I could see this dropping a ways. So maybe we close half of it or something. So let's keep waiting and see. 1 minute left on this candle. Pushing down nicely. At this point, I've hit 1R, which is that's when I go to break even. But I'm going to wait for this candle to close because again, we could come up here before pushing back down. I really want to see where this candle closes. But I did hit 1R, which is where I would normally move to break even. So let's do that. Let's move to break even. We're going to, risk-free trade. 22 seconds left. 5 minutes left on this 15. We're still pushing down. Big push. Now, can we break this level? Maybe price comes up half of this candle. Still pushing. Still pushing. Oof. All right, I'm out. That's good enough for me. Like, we could try to squeeze that for all it's worth, but why? When we just hit 1.1R. Beautiful, beautiful trade with momentum. And then, yeah, check that price gets sucked back up. That's why we exited. Well done, everyone. I'm done for the day. No need. I'm not even going to look for another trade. So that puts us up 6.25% on our account. Waited for our trade. Ideal exit? No, it wouldn't have given us a retest though. But momentum, waiting, petering out. Did drop below our level. 15 matched. Whatever. I'm justifying it to myself. So anyway, great luck. If you took the trades with me, apologize for the bad ones. If you got out of them when I did, hey, you didn't lose anything. And then we nailed a nice 1%er. So overall, great day. We're up another 1% on our account, and we'll look to hit that again, tomorrow. So have a good one.